on in here? Alright. Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF Rampage, or Ramfru. I am Jim Ross, here with Tony Schiavone and with Montel Vertadius Porter. Today on Rampage, or Ramfru, we're going to see the ongoing match. Today on Rampage, or Ramfru, we're going to see the ongoing bind between Godjora and Gamera. We did see that match on Impact on XSTV, or Smashing Inside Farseer, Jim Ross said. Yes, we did, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone said. We did see it, and we know there is a bind between Godjora and Gamera. We seen it play out last month in the TWF, and we saw it play out on Impact on XSTV, or Smashing Inside Farseer. I can tell you one thing, Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone. I tell you one thing, Godjora doesn't like Gamera. Gamera doesn't like Godjora. I think it goes way, way beyond their films, beyond their dolls, or their film games, or their drawing shows, or anything like that. I think that Godjora just doesn't like Gamera for whatever grounds, sake or wide. Only known to Godjora, only known to Gamera, Montel Vertadius Porter says. I mean, Godjora's been in the TWF since 9 between 98 YL. He's won almost every winnings there is to win. He's wrestled almost everyone there is to wrestle. Well, I can tell you one thing, Montel Vertadius Porter says. That might be true, Jim Ross says. Godzilla might have been in the TWF since 9 between 98 YL, when his first doll or whatever was bought from the Vinland Thrift Middle. But ever since then, Godjora has either been a heel or he has been good. He's always been one or the other, Jim Ross says. And yes, he is a former TWF heavyweight fighter and world heavyweight fighter. He's been the matchmaker to TWF many times, you know. And he is the head works fellow at the TWF because he oversees booking and writing, and he oversees show running. Well, I can tell you what, Tony Schiavone said, the so-called King of the Fiends, the so-called Kaiser of the Fiends, he's here today on Rampage or Ramfru. We gotta see what he's gotta say. Oh, alright, Godjora says. So not yesterday, but a day before that, on Impact on XSTV, or Smashing Inside Farseer, I have this creep by the name of Gamera who beats me. Now, to say that that's going to irk me or not, that's beyond that. He beat me once, I beat him once. It is what it is, you know. So at the end of the day, I truly believe that Gamera, I've never liked him. I truly believe he's the one who's angry with me. Why would I be angry with him? You know? I mean, so, you're gonna spin it, Godjora, and you're gonna say I'm angry with you. For what? You're always coming off as the angry kind. Always angry that some other big fiend, or big Ethelin, or whatever, or Ethelish being, or Ethelish fiend, is somehow either going to overtake you in films, overtake you in dolls, or overtake you in film games, or overtake you in books, or drawing shows, or whatever. You need to think of it, Godjora, you're not just angry with me. The one you're angry with, well, your anger seems to be more on King Kong than it was me. And he's made a hell of a lot more films than you did. But then again, they were all new makes and new takes, so I don't know if you keep a reckoning or not on that. Then, and you know, Godjora, you weren't the first big Ethelish fiend to ever be in films. I mean, there were many ones before you and many ones after you. But everybody who came after you had to live up to your standard, and it didn't quite work out. So who did you seem to fuck over? Well, there was Reptilicus, the Danish land take on it. Well, only one film. Uh, what else did we have? The Beast of the Five South these feet. No, I think he came out before you, Godzilla, so I don't think he had anything to do with him. Gorgo, the England take on it. Only one film. And we talk about King Kong, right? Well, he had many films, but a lot of them were new makes and new takes. And out of all of those folks, out of all of those Effelish fiends, or beings, whatever, you helped to fuck me over more times than all of them. But I guess it didn't work, did it? Let me be worth with you, Gamera. Everyone likes to make you out to be some good doer. Oh, you never were sinful. You were never unlawful. That was bullshit, Gamera. Never your first film? Think back to your first film they ever made. You were a heel like me. So don't go around playing a good doer because everyone thinks that that's all you were. Godzilla, did you forget half of your Hojo films when you were good? Yeah, you may have been the heel, at least in the 4 of them. Later on, you were good during the rest of your Hojo run. Then, the 2th Hojo run, you were a heel. I don't know why the fuck they did that, but that was beyond that. Your Sony run, I guess you were a heel. And then during your 3rd Hojo run, oh, you're back to being a heel again. And in your Warner Brothers run, you were good. Now you're a heel. You were good. Now you're a heel. Now you're good again. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. But anyway, why would I? You know. So why? I got 2 wins over you. You got 2 wins over me. Why don't we just put it at the end as that? You want to have one more match? Because you in your mind think you're Otis. All right. There might be very few sagas and tales that go on in the TWF these days, but I think the shit between me and you must be something that sticks. Well, alright, I'll give it to you, Godzilla, Godzilla says. Whoever match. And the Fight Lord who doesn't know how to stand up. The Fight Keeper who's drunk, doesn't know how to stand up. Ding ding ding. Well, the match got started. Oh, Godzilla just hit him with his tail, Jim Ross says. You know, Godzilla has always shifted between being good and bad. He never make up his mind, Jim Ross says. He likes to... He has many things that are the same with Steve Austin. But then again, you could say the same thing, and you could say he shares the same things with Ashley Williams, or with Autolycus, or Jack Styles, or in those other cells. Or Steve Austin. Well, Godzilla has really shown that he must be some kind of jealous kind to really have a bind or a hatred for anyone else. And a clothesline, and down he goes. Well, Tony Schiavone said, Godzilla does have that kind of mindset, stand, behavior that Steve Austin had when he was in USWA and WCW and ECW and WWF and WWE. And it seems that Steve Austin and Godzilla are really near friends. Yeah. You know, it was Steve Austin who helped get Godzilla into the TWF, Tony Schiavone said. Yes, it was, Jim Ross said. Some folks forget that. You know, Vince Kamicki didn't really see anything in Godzilla. He didn't really see that much. And it was Steve Austin who helped get Godzilla into the TWF. Well, Montel Taylor's Porter said, you gotta like the upside that Godzilla is doing to Gamera, showing him that he is the king of the fiends. He is the tiger of the fiends, or the Effilus fiends, because they're all Effilins too. You know. And how is Gamera going to get out of this bind? How is he going to get out of this bind that he's in? Montel Taylor's Porter says, Gamera just got Godzilla and body slammed him. And don't forget, Godzilla has taken some losses. Well, Gamera got body slam Godzilla, but how's he gonna? But is he gonna keep up with it? We all know Godzilla gets more wins. Godzilla's gonna get more wins than he does. And yeah, Godzilla may have lost here and there. Gamera. Once again, the Gamera bottom. Offshooting from the stone bottom or the bookend. Jim Ross said. That's more of a bookend, Tony Schiavone said. I don't care. Stone bottom, bookend, whatever. Whatever he did, it's whatever's one he did. Can he beat him? Can Gamera get the 1, 2, 3 on him? Can he make him yield? I mean, the only ones that Godzilla ever lost to was King Kong and Mothra 2 times. That's it. Gamera. Down on Godzilla. Is it gonna happen here? Is Gamera gonna get his third win on his fourth win on Godzilla? Or is Godzilla going to win on him? 1, 2. Oh, only a 2. So I guess it didn't work. Well, Godzilla now. Got the Godzilla stunner on Gamera. Oh, that's nice. Well, that's kind. And now he can't even keep on him long enough to even get that 1, 2, 3. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, Godzilla. And Godzilla has beat Gamera. So now, out of the wins, Godzilla has won at least. Gamera's at least has won some of the matches, and Godzilla's won some of the matches. Jim Ross says. Now he's seeking to get out of the ring, and he really can't get out of the ring because of the things that are there. But we can't take anything away from Gamera. You know, he put up a big fight. He put up a good fight against Godzilla. Jim Ross says. But at the end of the day, it just wasn't his day. And he ended up losing to Godzilla here today on Rampage. A ram through, Jim Ross said. That's right, Tony Schiavone said. Godzilla got the win over Gamera here today on Rampage. A ram through. But he didn't do it without didn't put some work in to do it. And I guess Godzilla or Godzilla, whatever you want to call him, is going to talk about how he's the greatest of all although the great Ephelis fiends out there. I mean, he's made more films than anyone else. That is true. Between Toho and Sony and Toho and Warner Brothers. But at the end of the day, does that truly make him the greatest? Well, Montel Ratavius Porter says, I think it makes Godzilla or Godzilla, whatever you want to call him, that makes him the greatest of all the Ephelins, all the greatest of the Ephelish fiends out there. In my book it does, Montel Ratavius Porter says. But I think Omos could most likely just take down Godzilla or take down Gamera. Well, anyway, that's just my take, Montel Ratavius Porter says. Anyway, now I'll go to Michael Cole now, who is now going to be talking with Godzilla. All right, Godzilla, you got wins over your foe Gamera has beaten you, and you have beaten him many times, and you have had a on and off hatred for him going back as early as 9/53 YL when your film started. Well, how could I have hatred for someone who started sometime after me? You know, the one that I had all my hate for back in the day before Gamera was King Kong. And let me tell you something, at least I have some onlook for him. Gamera, I have no onlook for a Ephelish fiend who lies to everyone and tells them he was always good, that he was never sinful and he was never unlawful. Well, that's wrong. Watch Gamera's first film ever made. I know a lot of Gamera followers, and the film business has made his films over the years, likes to play as if the first film never happened. Hey, I man up to it. I was a heel. I was good. I was a heel. I was good. I was a heel. I was good. I man up to it. Gamera never mans up to it, or whatever. Fiends up to it, I guess you need to say. He was a heel and he was good, but he likes to play as if he never was a heel. Godzilla, you like to go around throwing around words like sinful and unlawful. Well, everyone in this world are sinful. All men and women are sinful. But at the same time, you like to throw around these words as if you're saying that you're not sinful and you're not unlawful. I never said I wasn't sinful and unlawful. I never said that I wasn't a sinner or an outlaw. A lot of stuff I did in my films, yeah, a lot of folks could write that off as being sinful and unlawful. If they believed I was a man-like, woman-like being, which had the free will to choose to be sinful, to choose to be unlawful. But yeah, if you want to say I'm a sinner and an outlaw, go ahead. At least I man up to it, or whatever, fiend up to it. Something that Gamera never does. You know? So, I got a win over him. So that means that I'm still the king of the fiends. I still Kaiser of the fiends. And that's all I got to say about that, Michael Cole. And that's the bottom row, because Godzilla said so. Well, that used to be Steve Austin's saying back in the day. And back to you, Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone. Well, thank you, Michael Cole, for talking with Godzilla here today on Rampage or Ramfru. And that's all the time we got here for Rampage or Ramfru. I am Jim Ross for Tony Schiavone and Montel Vertadius Porter. And if you like, and that's all the time we got here for Rampage or Ramfru. And we'll see you tomorrow for Power or Might.